We're just disappointed. With the
Good evening and thanks to everyone for showing up here today. Now, just to clarify one thing, I've had disgraceful comments put up on Facebook and messages left on the board. Sorry. Come over this way, mate. It's a mom come to Mohammed. Lads, try and come in here that leave the traffic going up and down.
We have a bypass.
And if the people behind could come out in front. Yeah. And if we can leave it that the traffic can go up and down as well. Yeah, just if we can leave it that the traffic could get up and down, please. Yeah. I just want to clarify something here. I've had disgraceful comments put up on Facebook about me today, and I've had disgraceful phone calls and messages left from people that are protesting out at the Racket Hall. I'm just here the same as any of the rest of you, with one common interest like the rest of the people here. And I don't need to be listening to crap about people, right? This meeting was arranged on Thursday night, just cleared by the guards, and as far as we were concerned, that was it. Anyway, could we just start by introducing the TDs here first? We've Deputy Martin Browne here, representing Sinn Féin. We've Michael Lowry here from the Michael Lowry team, and we've Brendan O'Connor here, who will be running for local election shortly. Now, Mattie McGrath is on his way, and whenever he gets here. So, the purpose of today's meeting, as we all know, is about events that took place in the Racket Hall on Thursday evening last. And we all know Roscrea has been sold out in a lot of ways. A lot of services have gone out of the town, not only over the last couple of years, but some of them even went there in the month of November and December. And the latest blow is the hotel. We now have 2 hotels in the town that are not open to the public or not open to the local people of Roscrea or visitors. There was a lot of money, time and effort put in by different groups around the town to try and sell Roscrea as a tourist attraction, and now we've no hotel for them to stay in. So I could stay up here now and say going on all day and all night, but I think we're better off it's the public representatives you want to hear, not me. So I'd call on Deputy Martin Browne to speak here for a minute, please.
Thanks, Derek. Just to make it clear, lads, Derek invited us to speak here, that this was the official protest or whatever, and that's why we're here, not out in Racket Hall.
Are you going to come out?
Look at it's as simple as this. I got a first phone call at 3:30 Thursday. The email came at 10:04 about what's happening here. This is another example of our government letting people in Ireland, Roscrea and everything else down without communicating with people. These decisions have massive effects on local communities and the whole lot. The hotel is a perfect example. I don't know how good the hotel was going, but it was one focal point, and was a point that tourism would have been an important part of it. I know of one woman in Cashel, she had a birthday party booked there in a couple of weeks' time. That now is gone. And you've that all across, your weddings, the whole thing. And we have worked with Mick Donovan and the lads up here in Shenross and all that. It's unfair to put people of Roscrea or communities like these into the situation that they have been faced now by decisions that have been up to this. People were being given 2.5 days, 3 days notice, but they seem to have changed tact again. This is a problem that has been there for the last 2 years, and the government, and that's where the blame was laid, lads, is with a government that has failed for the last 2 years to actually bring people or communities together, or explain and communicate with communities, put services in place before they make decisions. But it just seems to be ad hoc. Any place that holds their hand up now, it seems to be they're prepared to take it. Today's report in the papers showed, excuse me, that, and it's not often I agree with Eamon Ryan, but there needs to be an equal distribution of asylum seekers put around the country, and it's not if you look at today's reports in the papers. So we have been, since 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and the council and both the department promised me, I don't know about Michael, he can speak for himself, that they would get back to me by close of business yesterday evening and let us know what's happening or what services they even intend to supply to Roscrea if this goes ahead. But I spoke to Derek last night. I had no more information last night than I have now, but I will assure the people of Roscrea from 9 o'clock again Monday morning, we will try our best to find out what is going on and what the situation is, because like I said, and I've seen it down through the years being a public rep, if you actually talk to people and then communicate with people and try and bring people along with you, you have some hope of getting stuff done. But if you try and force people or force situations in, like it seems to be happening here and in other places, you will lose the community. And Roscrea has always been a very welcoming community anytime I've ever come up here. And they have played their part in taking refugees and asylum seekers up to this. And it's unfair that they're being treated the way they are at this stage. And I'm asking that the Minister look at it again. Roscrea, between the convent and Shanross and that, has their fair share at this stage, and something else needs to happen. And that needs that they come in and talk to the community. I said it on the radio the other day, it's the likes of the resource centres, mental health issues and all that, they're the people that have their finger on the pulse in all these communities like Roscrea and every place else. But they are even being bypassed, and that's totally unfair and totally unfair on the communities. So look, I can assure Roscrea from 9 o'clock on Monday morning, we'll be back onto the department again and to the council, because the council has gotten money from the department to hire people on to communicate with communities, and that hasn't happened here either. So thanks, Derek, for asking us up, and anything I get back from the department or from the council, I'll send it straight on to you, if that's okay, and you can communicate it out on your pages as well. Carmela Gallagher.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Roscrea, first of all, I received a notification for a public meeting here in Roscrea, and as I always do, if I receive a notification over any issue for a meeting, I deem it necessary as a public representative to attend those meetings, to listen to what the people have to say and to react accordingly and assist in easing their concerns. This meeting is called today because the people of Roscrea have legitimate concerns about the number of asylum seekers and refugees that are in the town of Roscrea. For me, this is not a new topic, it's not a new subject. This is something that I addressed in the Dáil on 4 occasions last year in the last 12 months. I raised it with the Taoiseach, I raised it with the Taoiseach, I raised it with Minister Roderick O'Gorman. I was very forthright in the views that I expressed, but I was also respectful, and my language was careful, and I wasn't stoking up any racism, or I wasn't saying that Ireland wasn't welcoming refugees. But what I did say very strongly about Roscrea, I said that I'd had several meetings in Roscrea that I had led a deputation to the Minister, which was representative of the people of Roscrea, and when Sean Ross Abbey was taken over and redeveloped and remodelled as an asylum centre, we got an assurance that a cap would be put on the number of asylum seekers that would be accommodated there. And I regretfully say that that commitment that I received and received in writing was not honoured, it was reneged on. We then had a situation where the convent was taken over and Ukrainian refugees were allocated to it, 400 families. And the people of Roscrea had no difficulty with that because I met with all of the residence groups. We explained exactly what was happening, and those people were accorded a welcome, a full welcome, a welcome of generosity of spirit and kindness. And those people have settled and there hasn't been difficulties. The problem here with this particular application was that, first of all, we got a commitment on various stages on the record of the Dáil that in advance of any relocations happening, that public representatives would be consulted, that local leadership groups would be consulted. I have to say on this occasion there was zero consultation. The first I heard of it was when we received the email telling us that it was a done deal and that 160 families would be entering Racket Hall. Now, over the last, first of all, can I say, I'm coming to Roscrea a long time, and I always make it my business, as I said, to attend meetings and to listen to hear what people have said. And I think I know the people of Roscrea. Roscrea is a traditional rural town. Roscrea is a friendly, welcoming people. It's a welcoming place.
My kingdom, that's
The people who have shown great generosity and spirit of kindness to refugees already. A town with a great community spirit. A town that has coped with a lot of setbacks and a lot of adversities. A town that is fighting back. And I have worked very closely over the past 2 years with community groups here, community and voluntary groups. They have done fantastic work behind the scenes. And I refer to the REACH project, I refer to the other big projects that are sanctioned for Roscrea. And the irony of it is that those projects have been sanctioned under the Urban Regeneration Scheme, which is a scheme where the government set aside millions of pounds to redirect investment, to restore and to renew and to reinvigorate towns across the county. Roscrea has benefited enormously, and I want to acknowledge that the government have allocated in the region of 15 million to Roscrea for these particular projects. Those projects are about to happen or are on the way to happening because of the leadership, the commitment and the dedication of the voluntary groups and the community groups that I have worked with. And it really is ironic that when we're making that investment to renew the town, another state agency comes on and snatches our hotel from under us. That hotel is central to the commercial life of Roscrea. People need a place to stay when they visit Roscrea. That hotel has been used for birthdays, it has been used for confirmations, for first communions, for lunch after funerals. It has been booked for events, it has been booked for functions. It's a hugely important asset to the town. And as I said, it's ironic and a sheer form of bad planning to think that an organisation within the state agency could actually take that from the town that is helping to support and assist in other ways. The projects that I am talking about here in Roscrea will help to renew the town. They're enterprise projects, they're projects that will create jobs, they're projects that will lift the local economy, and they're absolutely vital to the future of Roscrea, and I will continue to work with the people in that regard. Can I say, my difficulty, I have no difficulty, and everybody knows that I'm careful, I'm cautious, I'm respectful, and I am considerate to the people who need our support and assistance as a country. Ireland has done its bit, we have taken our fair share. We have been exceptionally upfront in leading other European countries. Part of the problem that we have in Ireland is that we have reached a situation where we have a problem with capacity. We have a capacity here in Roscrea. Our classrooms are full, our GPs are full, our medical centres are full. Our hospital in Limerick cannot deal or cope with the number of people from around North Tipperary that are going to waiting lists and the longest waiting time in the country for a hospital in accident and emergency. That's my problem. My problem is not the refugees. My problem is that we do not have the resources, we do not have the infrastructure, we do not have the capability to afford these people what they're entitled to. Accommodation, access to medical care, access for their children to educational. Anybody that tells me that we can magic all those necessary items out of the agenda is not going to happen. And the other thing, we got a commitment in relation to the Garda station here in Roscrea. The Garda station is closed at night. The numbers of Gardaí have dwindled from 27 down to 7. They're under enormous pressure. They're responding and reacting to numerous incidents around the town. They're doing their best to control the situation, but they're getting no support. They didn't get the initial numbers. I requested that the Garda numbers be supplemented here in Roscrea. That hasn't happened. And that's aggravating a situation because people feel vulnerable because they don't have security at their fingertips when they require it.
Well said.
I think every town, every village, and I have supported local communities right across Tipperary, every one of us have to share the burden in terms of accepting numbers of refugees and asylum seekers. Roscrea has done its bit. Roscrea has taken more than its share. And the hotel, as we all know, the hotel is vital to the future of the town. Can I say that the town?
Are you willing to go out?
Can I say that the town?
Ask that question. Are you willing to go out and support the people after? Thank you. Thank you.
The town of Roscrea has been transformed with the influx of refugees. And I'm meeting people in this town who tell me that the town is losing its identity, that it's losing its character, that is losing its sense of community because there are so many new people in the town. They don't have the same connectivity, they don't have the same camaraderie as they previously had. So I'm saying to you today that I've made my position very clear to the government in relation to this. I think the government has to review its policy. It has gone to a critical stage where the government has to ask the question, is it fair to say to people who are fleeing war or fleeing some personal safety in some other country, is it fair to them to bring them in here in the false expectation that we can continue to provide accommodation for them and that we can continue to provide access to the vital services that they need? I think that question has to be asked. I am asking that question of the government. In the meantime, we will monitor what's happening here in Roscrea. I will continue to have your interests at heart. And as I said, I know that the people of Roscrea, you're not anti-immigrants, you're not racist, but you do accept one thing, and I accept it, that this town has taken more than its share and that its capacity has been extended beyond the limits. So we continue to keep in touch.
Deputy Lowry. Could we call on Deputy Mattie McGrath, please?
Just hold on to me there.
Be careful there now.
Good afternoon, Cardigan Lair, and apologies for being late. I'm delighted to see you here today. Just as numbers, and as Deputy Lowry and probably others have said, you're a welcoming people and a good people, and you're not far right or far left or far anything. You're concerned about your town, your future, and your families and your children and grandchildren, and rightly so. I'm the same as the other Rockets members. I got an email, I got a text I think about 2 o'clock on Thursday, and to say there'd be a briefing note issued at 4 o'clock, and there was the briefing note. But this is government policy. I've sat down with Roddy Gorman and his Junior Minister, Joe O'Brien, and they've told me, the company Michael Collins, another TD, thankfully with me, and he told me, look, it's going to keep continuing. We'll have 5,000 or 10,000 every year to come and just get over it. It's government policy, and this is the problem I have. Government policy, as Deputy Lowry said, trying to rejuvenate towns was supposed to be, but killing the spirit of communities then by not engaging not engaging or indeed respecting the people of Ireland. And it's a sign there, our government have gone rogue. They're very rogue, this government. They're more like a dictatorship. But unfortunately, they have support of government backbenchers, they have support of independents, and they're getting it all the time. I've raised this issue in the Dáil for the last 8 months, 10 months even, looking for a debate in our national parliament. Imagine, I couldn't get a debate. Got one there about a month ago, used their own time, our own independent time, and nobody came in to address it. No government backbenchers from Tipperary came in, no government backbenchers from any party came in, a couple Sinn Féin, and they all ridiculed us. So the government hadn't to do anything to defy our motion. We wanted just a calm, reasonable and understanding debate, and we were vilified and called everything. And then we called a vote the night after, and you have to get 10 people to stand up for a vote. We could only get 8, and no TDs from Tipperary stood up to support us. None. No debate in Dáil, and this has been debated in every workplace, every office, every car, every taxi, every bus. It's topic of the nation, but we can't discuss it in our own parliament. The Dáil goes back next Wednesday, and the Taoiseach won't be there. He's too busy. He's in Davos. In Davos, yeah, next Tuesday. The Taoiseach next Wednesday. The Taoiseach won't be there either. We're for a month. We'll be not for a month, and he thinks it's more important to be in Davos, where he's not elected to. They have no responsibility in this country, and that's where he's at the Economic Forum. That's what he's interested in. And Michael Mattie in some other part of, I don't know where he's at the moment, but wherever he is, he's not far enough away as far as I'm concerned, but he's not interested in the Irish people. Not interested in the Irish people, and I'm sorry to say that. And I represent the Irish people as best I can. I make mistakes. I'd be vilified in the media. That doesn't really bother me about the media. Because the media now are just a mouthpiece for the government. That's what they've become, the national media. Not Tip FM, I want to salute Tip FM. I want to salute Tip FM. And then we have the so-called new mixed government, Sinn Féin, and I tell them now, they used to be a Republican party, they're now a globalist party. They're sitting there, every policy the government have, not in a wink. Phony opposition about this debate and that debate, but on this issue, they're not with the people on this issue. They're twisting and turning now because of pressure. We need to respect our culture, our heritage, our faith, our people, our language. Patrick Pearse said a nation wouldn't be a nation without its language. So we're trying to be colonised here once again. And it's been done in the name of compassion. Now, we're not compassionate. You're all compassionate people here. Of course you are, and we all are. And when the Ukraine war broke out, people took them into their homes and everything else. And we're not anti-refugee. But enough's enough, and the government are going to have to listen. Because this is going to be a major issue in the coming year and the coming elections. And we have to have right to our own destiny. And Irish people have to get fair play. Fair play is fine play with me, all the time. Fair play, but Irish people are not getting fair play now. Our schools are full, our hospitals can't cope, and indeed we can't get a GP. And we tell these people then, and we see then the unfortunate people that were in traffic in here. That is horrible, horrible greed. And the same with the buildings now that are being given over. In this case, a hotel. It's the word greed, nothing else. Simple, soft money. The money is there, and they see the money, they follow the money. Same with the housing situation. We can't house our own people. Yet there's billions being spent in half payments into private developers, so instead of building houses. Lots of problems. Look, I'm here to listen to you today and engage with you and tell you I will be raising this in the floor of Dáil when I go back on Wednesday. Even though the Taoiseach won't be there, he'll be in Davos, which he feels is more important than the elected parliament that he's Taoiseach of. So anything I can do for you, I will. Go to McGrath.
Could we call on Brendan O'Connor now, who's the Sinn Féin candidate for the local elections for Roscrea and Templemore area, this upcoming elections.
I'd like to start. Thank you for the invite, and I know I spoke to a few people. Can you hear me all right there? Yeah, I'd like to thank Derek there for the invite, and I know I spoke with Derek out at the Racket Hall the other evening, and he said he'd let me know what for tonight. But just our dues, I'd like to, for me to book, so when I'm into Roscrea or in Crinnew and you, and Mara Durfter, Chocked and Shin, we take kind for you on Changaduke, it's on Rod Taw talk to mission on Changaduke, she's fair gale or mission, Squale Gourmet, talk proud of more of my culture. Because like I say, you know, I'm a proud Irishman, I'm proud of my culture, I'm a proud Republican, and I wouldn't go before the people of Roscrea if I thought the people of Roscrea had a racist bone in their body. People here have welcomed the asylum seekers that are already in the town. They've welcomed the Ukrainians. There's been great work done with local committees to integrate these people into the community, and there has been an impact on services. That's undeniable. I can talk personal experience. I moved back from living out far a few years ago because I was out hunting for a few. I don't have a GP in this area. I have to travel down to South Tip where my mother lives to go to a GP, and so I fully understand people's concerns about local services. When we first heard this news, it was less than 24 hours beforehand. When a message was sent out to the TDs. I don't know that any other elected reps know for, and I honestly don't think they did. I think the government's attitude is keep people in the dark about this. Don't even like as Martin said there, not even talk to resource centres or any of the community groups that are best placed to help people deal with a new arrival. And even more than that, there's a real lack of joined up thinking. I mean, to take an active hotel that is a vital service for our community and to turn it over to a long-term accommodation just doesn't make sense. And a town needs a hotel. You can't develop tourism, you can't plan events. I was talking to a woman the other day. She told me that her wedding was booked in the Racket Hall and she'd been told she'd be getting a refund. And I mean, imagine that, you're a few months out and you're looking for a new venue and these things are only booked up to a year in advance. So I'd say, look, we've written off to the Minister, as Martin said. We've contacted the council. We'll be raising this first thing tomorrow morning when they're back. But we can't only go on what the government has told us. We were told that the beds have been turned over, and that there will be services put in place. Now, they haven't told us what the services will be or what will happen, and I don't know, has anyone seen the papers today? Tipperary has just over 570 international so asylum seekers altogether. Now, that wouldn't be including the Ukrainians in the convent, so that's in centres like Shannon or Sabi and others around the county. There's 570. You could say roughly 200 of them are probably in Roscrea, so Roscrea has maybe 40% of all the asylum seekers in. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. 420. Right, 420. So that's, you can say Roscrea has almost a majority of the asylum seekers in County Tipperary, and that's a big burden on a town with no wraparound services, no sports. And I mean, look, there's international obligations. Any politician who tells you they can ignore them is being untrue. But what you need to do is you need to deal with asylum claims quickly. Because what we're seeing with the government is they're not. One of the first campaigns I was involved in when I got into politics as a young fellow was a campaign against direct provision, because Sinn Féin has always opposed direct provision. We think putting people in centres, rent for private profit, isn't the way forward. It doesn't benefit towns, it doesn't benefit communities, it doesn't benefit even the asylum people themselves. You talk to the lads out in Shannon or Sabi, the first thing they'll tell you is they don't want to be there. And even worse than that, they often get moved from centre to centre while they're with market. So if you do try and integrate, they're shifted on before they have a chance to. And it's not like Roscrea hasn't welcomed people. Everyone knows in this town there's plenty of foreign nationals living, working in the town, contributing to the town. According to that census, 17% of the population of the town is non-Irish, and I don't think people are saying that they want no foreigners in Australia. I think people are saying they want to be respected, they want to be consulted, they want to be listened to. And it's clear the government isn't willing to engage with people. And I mean, even the way it was handled, like the hotel staff didn't even know this was happening until the day before. Now I know there was a meeting and apparently most of them are happy with what's come out of it, but it's just not a way to do things, and that's why we said we'd come up here. Why I made a point of calling Derek once I heard the news. This is the kind of thing that drives me to get involved in politics. Is local people deserve politicians that will be honest with them. You might not always agree with someone, but the least you can give them is honesty, and that's why I'm here today. That's why I came before you. I know there's people here who have their own opinions on this, that, and the other things, but right, and I know the TD will be able to talk for longer than I would on the various work they're doing at all. But I'm here as a local rep, and as someone who wants to be a local rep, and I'm just saying that I will listen to your concerns about any issue. I will do my best to raise them with the relevant authorities, and at the very least, I won't fill you full of nonsense. I'll be true. I'll be fair to you. Ask me an honest question, I'll give you an honest answer. Thank you.
It's a bit of a sad reflection today that we can't have all our local TDs and representatives here. And for Roscrea to progress on, we need everybody here, and we need everyone as a team. That these people have a bit of political power and are in the places where decisions are made. And we all know of all the things that went out of Roscrea and continue to go out of Roscrea, but we need our political leaders to start doing more and to start a bit of joined up thinking as well. And after that, the people of Roscrea are the best supporters going, and all we need is somebody to help us out. And After that, we could stay here talking all day and all night. But I just like to say thanks very much to the people that turned up here this evening. But I'd also love to know where the other 4,000 or 5,000 so-called Roscrea people are. And
Racket Hall. Yeah, the majority are out in Racket Hall, where they should be.
there's somebody after saying there's not 4,000 people out in Racket Hall now. But this meeting was arranged on Thursday night. It was ran through by the guards.
And why
everything.
couldn't you have it out in Racket Hall? All of us come together instead of separate. We all be together.
Look, we done our thing, right?
You done it wrong.
Yeah, well, that's your view. And our others. We go along. We've done a lot of work here over the last 10 years since we set up in town. We don't go around with placards saying it. There's loads of people that we've helped and tried to help, and that's where we'll continue on. And whether we get it right or get it wrong, we won't be found wanting. And I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out. And there's lots of things people could be doing this evening, but they chose to come here. And thanks very much, and thanks to our politicians that turned up today. And I hope we can all come back and work together again.
Come out to Racket Hall and show your faces in Racket Hall to support the people who've been out there.
I'd like to ask a question of Deputy McGrath and you, Deputy, as well. Just ask a quick question.
Right, very quick.
Yeah, it's very quick. Just want to ask the two gentlemen. Mattie, if I may ask you a question, please. Deputy Lowry. Deputy Lowry has said that he has it in writing from the government that there was a cap on the refugees in Roscrea.
Give her a microphone. Give her a microphone. Give her a microphone.
Thank you. I just want to ask the question regarding what Deputy Lowry mentioned, that he has a commitment in writing from the government that numbers on refugees and asylum seekers here in Roscrea were capped. The government has now reneged on that. And I'm just wondering what are the ramifications there. He will be bringing it up in the Dáil next week. And will he have support from the opposition and from his fellow independents?
Thanks for your question, Teresa, I think. I have no such commitment in writing. I told you that I met Roger Browne and Joe O'Brien about 6 weeks ago, and he told us just get over yourself. There's going to be 5,000 and maybe 10,000 next year. They're coming, so I don't believe anything comes from the government. I have nothing in writing. And of course I will. I have been all the time advocating on behalf of the people, advocating with common sense. That we just can't, we cut our cloth according to our measure and try to talk common sense. And when we can't have a debate in Dáil, and when other TDs didn't stand up and support me in Dáil from Tipperary, I did support them, of course I will. And to do with Tipperary. I'm not selfish that way, of course I will. And we just can't take it, as you said. And I will go out to Racket Hall and meet the people there now for 2 minutes before I go home. So that's my question. I have no commitment in writing. If I had, I wouldn't believe it.
Exactly, I'm the same. And I was at the meeting with Roderick Gorman, and I know Deputy Lowry and Councillor Lee makes it out that there were only two there. I sat in the room with him, and as far as I'm concerned, there was no commitment given. And yes, he has gotten a commitment since then from the government. I don't know. He needs to answer that himself. But like I said earlier, as far as I'm concerned, Roscrea has taken its fair share, and there's no question of that. And I don't think anybody here or anybody looking in can deny that they have taken their fair share between what is here already. And I'm not going to start taking cheap political shots either on other politicians. We all came here with the good intention of supporting and listening to the people of Roscrea, and that's all I'm here for. The easy thing would have been for me to stay below in Cashel, because with the county split again, I'll be up here canvassing with the lads. But other than that, I came up with good intentions to listen to the people of Roscrea, and I listen to you, and I've always listened to you when I come up here. And I've no intention of starting to take cheap political shots at anybody here, because it's not in my interest and it's not in your interest that everybody starts bitching and biting, excuse my French, in front of everybody. So if that'll do it, Teresa, thanks.
Derek, can I ask a question? Just one. Yeah, no one will have me.
Thanks. I want to direct this question, there's only one representative left.
You're saying that Roscrea is the highest percentage of asylum seekers and refugees in Tipperary. Can you explain that, please, and why we're getting more?
I can't explain it, because I haven't been told it. I haven't been consulted about your sense. I do know that you have a high workforce here from, they're not Irish people, non-nationals, and they're working here, playing their part. And we know in our hospitals, and we know all over, people of all nationalities are welcome and playing a vital part. But this issue, we have it up and down the country. We have it in Cashel, we have it in Mitchelstown, we have it in Ollingford down the road, we have it everywhere. People are not being consulted, and Irish people are not being listened to. And we need proper, sensible consultation and engagement. And services are stretched across the board, we know that. And we see the good work done by communities here in Roscrea and every other community. Irish people in Athley, Curly, Kayla, we always, that's the mehel, sense of the mehel, but this is not fair, it's not right, it's not viable, and it's not sustainable, and it has to stop.
Mattie, can I have that for a minute?
I'll come in after you.
Hi everyone. You might know me with Teresa Collins, and I'm a firm campaigner with Sean Ross Abbey Roscrea for the mother and baby homes. Today I had a very hard task to do, to come onto our page, We're Still Here, to let my Americans, my Canadians, my English, my Europeans, brothers and sisters know that they have no place to stay this year for their commemoration in September. Now, I am totally shocked because we do support the Racket Hall Hotel when they come. We come into the town of Roscrea, we take them around, take them on tours, and we bring them, introduce them to any place we can. These people are the ones that was taken out of here years ago from the mother and baby homes. Loves to come back, but they cannot come back this year to a commemoration that we are doing for years because they have no hotel and no place to stay. Now, I'm not against refugees in any shape, form or size, but I do think that this government needs to cop on, grow up and deal with the Irish people the way we should be. And listen to us.
Well done. Mattie, I have one question. All these people here today, we're all Roscrea people surrounded. What answer are you giving to Racket Hall right now? How were your choice? How were your choice?
Well, you have a choice to come out here today and express your views and indeed contact your politicians. I don't know who owns Racket Hall, but as I said, greed comes in here, and it's the money that they're paying per night for the refugees in many cases, not getting very well looked after, in poor buildings. Money has come in here, and the word greed, that horrible word that has grown into our community the last 20 years or so. So I don't know, the choice is to keep asking, and I will contact the Racket Hall management. I haven't done so, but I will, if it's any good to me. I'm told they've had a meeting with staff, and the staff are supposed to be satisfied. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I will ask them, and I'll be putting pressure on the government and continuing my demand that we debate this issue in Dáil Inn. We're debating it here in the street in Roscrea, and we can't debate it in our parliament. It's not been debated in county councils or anywhere, so it's an issue that people are concerned with, and they have a right to be heard.
Mattie, can I word please? Can I word Mattie? Can I word please?
Just a quick comment before we go. Deputy Cahill and our own local councillor, Michael Smith, made some sort of a statement that there's going to be resources put into Roscrea, and I know we've heard this since I got my communion, but how do the people here, could someone dig it into there? What's the next step forward for us to make sure that these resources, how do we put pressure on these two men now to come up with the great resources?
Well, we're national defence.
No, just quick comment.
Come on, Vicky. Come on. Quick comment. No comment. He's no comment. He's no comment. He's no comment.
Does would anyone like to make a comment on what's our next step?
The refugees shouldn't be let in. Be self-sufficient. That's self-sufficient.
Yeah, Peter, we got the limit you can win.
Well, what we need to do is we need to get the traitors in Leinster House out of government, and that includes the false opposition. There's a couple of elections coming up, and we've got to stand up for ourselves because our politicians aren't representing the people anymore. At least 75% of the people are against what's going on, and there's no democratic mandate whatsoever for this plantation in the country, right? So we're going to need people to put themselves forward for election, and otherwise the same crowd go back in. They'll be laughing at us, okay? And I just got to tell you, I'm going to stand for election as independent patriot nationalist candidate in North Tipperary in the next election. So I'm an option anyway, okay? But you're going to need to get rid of all of the traitors. So stand up for yourselves, put yourselves forward, yeah?
Now, anybody else, because Paddy, you were 5 minutes earlier.
No, I just want one more minute.
Right, we're here today, Paddy, please.
Our national force.
Yeah,
Paddy.
Like we convened this meeting today, and it's a way of trying to get people together and get your ideas as well. Like, you know, and just we're wide open to anyone's ideas to know what do we do to make sure that these resources that the two men yesterday said is on the way to Roscrea. Like,
live and wait and hope.
How's that?
Live, wait and hope. That's it. You're not going to get.
Yeah, but we can't still live and wait and hope because.
But that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I know, but
People anymore. They're not working for the people. They're working for the World Economic Forum.
you know, we're all meeting here today, but if we call the public meeting again for 3 weeks' time, it could be spilling rain, and there'll be definitely nobody here.
But if a public meeting and you haven't got your representatives.
Yeah, that's very true, right?
It's very hard for us to stand here. Wait till election day.
Yeah, oh, I know. Well, I hope people open the doors when it comes to election and tell them exactly. But look, you all know who I am. You all know there's different members around the town there. There's Donny Keeley, Pat Hennessy, all these people. Don't be afraid to come and tell us ideas, or, you know, because we're running out of ideas.
Run for election. Put yourself forward.
Good. Well, look, all I can say is thanks very much again to everyone for coming out, and safe home, and thanks again. Oh, and thanks very much for coming. It always comes up with the PA and everything in. Free of charge, as we said.